Welcome. So this is for October 16th, okay? You will be doing chapter 4 and make sure that you read it, all right? But before we go on to the homework, I have a couple of announcements. My laters and the laters that turned in work, right, that I opened and reopened and reopened and reopened. So I have graded only half of it. I am still pending English 133 A500 and English 145 A500 and A501. So a reading comprehension and 2 of my reading technical, my technical writings, not my reading. My reading comprehension 133 A500 and then my technical writing English 145 A500 and A501. Okay, so I should have that ready by the end of this week. No promises earlier. I'm going to try to get it earlier, but I've just been really busy. All the midterms and all your midterm grades are already up to date. And have already been submitted. So make sure that you really keep tabs on your, grades. So that way, if there's anything missing, we catch it on time. So everybody that turned in, all their grades should be, on target with that. Okay. So thank you so much if you have not missed anything and you've been very diligent and you've been very punctual and have turned everything on time. You have no idea how that helps, and you have no idea how that doesn't muddy the waters for, for grading. So thank you so much. As you know, I have deadlines that I have to meet as well. And so your proficiency and your ability to turn it in on time helps me hugely. And so you're not going to struggle. You're not going to have a hard time in life. Okay. Meeting your deadlines says a lot about yourself, and it says a lot about your integrity, your character, and how you show up to life, because life is about you. Okay. Even if you don't have a business or whatever. Okay. You are your own business and you are showing up for yourself. So if you're late, if you're always asking, if you're always confused, if you never know, if all sorts of stuff, then, you're going to struggle. But if you're always on, if you always meet the deadlines, right? You always know what's going on, or you're able to ask or, be proactive, right? Or be a problem solver for yourself. You're going to struggle less, and people will be willing to help you. So thank you so much for all of my students, which have been the majority, I would say 3/4 of them, so that's about 300 and some. All right. That you guys have been extraordinary. And, midterm was a lot easier to grade. And so was the last attendance. By the way, this is only going to be this attendance for October 16th, Monday, October 16th. We will only have one attendance for this week, which will be week 4. Okay. So only one attendance for week 4. All right. So having said that, I think I'll open up for those of you who, didn't get it in or whatever. I think I'll open up. I haven't decided if week 2, but I will be opening week, midterms for those of you who missed it. My life is missing, you're missing life. And so I will be opening that up possibly Wednesday or Thursday. If it is not open, if you would politely contact me on Thursday to make sure that I open it up. I will probably only be opening up one day. Okay, I had some students, they're like, Miss, when are you going to open it up? I mean, I didn't even answer, but, or I did, I had already opened it up. So, get it together, people. For those of you laters, okay? You're going to struggle a lot if you don't get it together. And for those of you who really met your deadlines, that you really, turned everything in on time, thank you so much. You made it so much easier for you. For me, remember that I have deadlines as well. And your all's midterm grade is intact, and it's already been submitted since, I believe, Friday, okay, or a little bit before that. And so midterm grades have already been submitted, unless you're pending some. All midterm grades, all grades have been submitted. If you have uploaded certain grades and those have not been graded, those will be graded. But everybody that turned everything in on time, check your grades and you should be okay. If there's a discrepancy, please reach out to me, but you should be okay. All right. So everything is already set. Make sure that you make it a point to check your grades probably once a week. So that way you see what's missing, what you're not missing. So that way nothing's, you're not taking anything by surprise. That way, if there's a teacher that missed something like I do, then you can correct it in a timely manner. That way it will not affect your GPA. So be very vigilant on your GPA, okay? So that's that. So I will be opening as well, later on this week, okay? Let me see. I think I stated that I have some some late work that I haven't graded yet. It's English 133 A500, and then English 145 A500 and A501. You all are pending. I will try to get that done this week. Okay, I'm going to try to get it done earlier, but we'll see how it goes because, you know, we're sort of finalizing. All right. Remember that this, I don't know if I mentioned this because this is like the third time I've done this video for whatever reason. So this will be, there will only be one attendance for this week. So this is it. Okay, so only one attendance for this week, and we will be doing week 4. What else was I gonna say? After week 4, on week 5, okay, we will probably do finals, just because you're gonna have finals on Monday, October 3rd, Tuesday, October 31st, and then of course November 1st. So we should be done by then. So you will be having finals, okay, week 5, which is not this week. This week is week 4, but the following week. And then that way you have 3 days for your other classes that you can study for, and you will be done with my class on week 5. It sort of always works that way. And as you all know, I always give you the opportunity to you know, to study for your other classes, because you really need to study for them. So be grateful and make sure that you really optimize your time and you don't waste it, okay? There's nothing worse than wasting your time. If everything is going to cost you money, energy, or time, all right? When it's all 3, then it gets a little bit more difficult. But when it's money, money is the cheapest thing. You pay it off, you give it. Energy and time is something super, super hard, okay? And time you never get back, all right? So invest in yourself and make sure that, you know, that you get your stuff on time, and that you really optimize your time in order to, you know, be the best that you can be, and really showing up for yourself, because that's really what you're doing. If you're late, if you're disorganized, if you don't know what's going on, it's just a reflection of you, okay? And remember, you are representing yourself. You are your own business. So if you're always late, if you're confused, you know, I have some students that tell me, Miss, you know, I'm not going to say it, but anyway, so people that, you know, that aren't doing well, right? Or, you know, they're doing well in other classes, and in this class they're not. I mean, then you're not doing well. You know, if you're not doing well in my class and you're doing really well in the other ones, that just means you're not doing well. Period. So, you know, show up for yourself, you know, be integral in your character, you know, make sure that when people, you know, talk about you, even if they don't like you, they say that you're the best at what you can do. You know, I had, you know, my mother always mentioned that, you know, whatever it is that you do, even if you know, sweep streets, or even if, you know, if she used to say something very bizarre that I'm not going to mention, but whatever it is that you do, okay, that you have to be the best at it, and you need to know, in order to lead, be able to know how to do it. So be the best. Take pride in what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you wash toilets. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're CEO. Be proud of what you do, because that's what's going to get you ahead. And there's, you know, there's great pride in work, okay? Any type of work that you do, and being able to produce for yourself. So be mindful and you know, take pride in yourself. Make sure that you do the best that you can do, you know, even if you come up short, or maybe you're not an A student, but, you know, you're trying and you do your best work, then there's improvement every single day. And eventually you're going to master it, because everybody starts not knowing, okay? And everybody starts with no experience. Everybody, even top CEOs, even, you know, multimillionaires or billionaires, they've worked their way up there. Even if they come from families that are very well to do, they themselves have learned to master themselves, okay? So be mindful and invest in yourself, and really take the time to really grow yourself, and make sure to, you know, to think what it is that, and how it is that you want to be perceived, okay? That nobody can say anything about your work ethic, you know, your collaboration, right? The ability to be a problem solver, the ability to be a team member, okay? If, you know, if they tell you, if your bosses tell you, you know, to, you know, do something stupid, or you do what they say, you know, and until you become a boss, then you can run whatever it is that you want, right? Until I became a principal, then I ran my schools the way I wanted. But until then, whatever my bosses thought, even if I thought was stupid, or even if I thought that they didn't know, well, first of all, they were smarter than me because they had those positions and I didn't. But also, it's their deal, right? That's why they're the leaders, okay? So be mindful and learn how to take orders and learn how to give orders and understand your position and understand your leader's position. And you're there to collaborate. If you're working against your bosses and you're working against the company, you shouldn't be there, okay? Because that's what's putting bread on your table. I used to tell my teachers, if you don't like it here, you guys can leave. I mean, it doesn't help for you all to be resisting your company or your bosses. Part of the big problem in the United States and what employers say that is the biggest problem of employees is that you just don't, they don't collaborate and they don't know how to work in team. And you have to, okay? You have to. So be mindful of that, okay? So anyway, so week 5, we will be having our finals, and I'm going to give you a break because you're really supposed to have them on October 30th, 31st, and 1st, but we will be done with our homework and our finals next week, okay? So week 5, not this week, this is week 4, you're gonna do chapter 4, but the following week, so the week of, let me see what we have here, of October 23rd through the 27th, you will be having your final with me. All right, so make sure that you check up on your grades currently and that everything is in order. And my laters, remember that I have not graded half of my classes, but I will, okay? But all grades, if you have turned everything in, all grades are up to date, and that has been turned in since Friday. So make sure that you check up on your grades and you're consistent on that, okay? Excuse me, I always have allergies. All right, so I think that that's it. As you all know, I'm always in the library Mondays and Tuesdays. I've had some students that have seen me in my past students, and they're like, "Miss, you are real." Yes, I am. I'm not virtual, although sometimes I wish I was. But anyway, right? So I am real. I do exist, and I am here to help you, and I am here to help you succeed. But I cannot make you succeed. You need to want it yourself. All right? So this week was very interesting, all right? And this is my studio back here. For those of you who don't know, I have another business, and it's an esoteric business, and I'm psychic, and I'm a dream interpreter, and I actually do very, very well. And I have an Instagram, so if you're willing to, check me out, that'd be great. If you're too Christian, I don't recommend it, because you probably, do not see this in a good light. But for those of you who are not and are interested, I have my Instagram, and of course I have my other YouTube channels where I do oracles and I read. And so I have a lot of students that really, if they have a dream, they text me and I can usually interpret it. Dreams are usually prophetic, or you either ate too much, or there is like a warning, or you get a visitation. So they're very complex, but it's amazing what we can do and the mind can do. And if you believe in God, Allah, spirituality, heaven, earth, universe, whatever it is that you believe in, then dreams can really have, really tap into your subconscious. So check me out if you're interested, right? So really excited this week myself for the eclipse. The science of that is unbelievable. I really didn't get ready. I was sort of like my laters. So I knew what you all felt. So I was, scrambling around that day to see if I could find glasses to see it or whatever, blah, 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 because I just didn't think about it and I wasn't ready. So eclipse was unbelievable. Lots of changes, lots of mood swings by everybody, right? It's an incredible phenomenon, actually. So I think that the next one is going to be, I don't know what, lots of years. So anyway, and then of course, Friday was Friday the 13th. So I get, I love October. I love Halloween. I love Dia de los Muertos. And I love the way it's smashed, and I love the way, Mexico's being really recognized for that celebration of ancestors and having, the altar for the ancestors. And really Halloween comes from, the Celtics, and they were pagans. And so they got dressed up because they would believe that it's called a Samayan or something like that. A celebration, and so they felt that those days the spirits would come out. And so in terms of tricking them, they would get dressed up and they would leave offerings. And so what happened is that when, history is very, very interesting. So what happened is when, they were doing all the Christianity, right, and all the Christian, they were trying to turn everybody Christian, which they did a very good job in. So then they sort of incorporated that with All Saints Day, which is November 1st, and so they sort of eased in and really started eliminating, whatever the pagans had in terms of, because they were Celtics, or whatever it is that they had in terms of beliefs. They sort of incorporated it in, and then they created other holidays, right, or celebrations or festivities, which is like November 1st. I think the Christians, at least Catholic, because I was raised Catholic, has All Saints Day, and so they started eliminating that, and it just sort of became like this really kiddie stuff with Halloween, but it really is Hallows Eve, and that's where Halloween came out. So it's very, very interesting. And of course, Mexican culture is, November 2nd is el Día de los Muertos. They're very much intertwined with the Catholic religion, and so they do an incredible job in terms of doing the altars for the ancestors, and put up stuff that they remembering their life, right, and also putting up stuff that they really liked, like beans or whatever it is that they liked, whatever they drank, or if they smoked, or as an offering to them. And so I really like that everybody's really starting to know about the culture November 2nd, about el Día de los Muertos, and I really like that Mexico's really marketing that, because I think it's a really neat, fun holiday. So it's sort of a mesh of that, of Halloween and el Día de los Muertos, and so really, really lots of fun. So of course Friday the 13th is great, and of course we have October 31st coming in, and then of course we have also November 2nd. So lots of festivities. October and September are one of my favorite months. They're just like really pleasant, 80s, 70s, right? It's not quite, it's fall, so really, really neat. So anyway, so check me out on that. This is why I have this right now. I just figured I'd move it up or shake it up, so you all could see my studio. And I do oracles, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But I am going to do a fortune cookie for you all, and I already broke it. And so it says here, no man is free who is not master of himself. So this goes perfectly with what I had mentioned, and you have to be able to master yourself in order to be free, right? If you don't master yourself, if you have addictions, if you can't discipline yourself to do something, then you're not going to be a master of self. So, but I want to congratulate everybody. Everybody's here because they want to improve. You want to, build your skill set. And everybody, as I told you, everybody starts with nothing, okay? Some people have a little bit better, opportunities than others. But in the end, we're all the same, and we can all achieve the same. And as I tell all my students, and as I tell my, my own children, is that the only limitations you have are the ones you set. So dream big. And if your dreams don't scare you, they are not big enough, okay? There's nothing that can happen if it doesn't happen. The worst failure is when you give up and you don't try. All right. So anyway, so have a great week. We are doing week 4, okay? And we will start. Remember that you need to copy and paste it onto a Word document, okay? You need to highlight it. Remember that this is daily attendance, so the screenshot needs to be, I have to be in the screenshot. It would be pleasant if you didn't screenshot from right here or whatever. Try to get my face, because it's kind of awkward to see my middle here. So please be mindful. I would appreciate a decent screenshot. So make sure that I'm in there, and then of course make sure that your comment is there, okay, for your daily attendance. And then of course, and remember your daily attendance is due on the day of the daily attendance at 5 o'clock, but I still have it a whole day afterwards, so you can upload it. That doesn't mean to wait till the whole day afterwards. And then of course you have week 4 where you have to read your chapter, okay, listen to the instructions, but copy and paste it onto a Word document. All right, I do not take pictures, so don't include pictures. Highlight it, and then make sure that you title it with your name, my name, class, section, and then whatever the assignment is, okay? So going on and starting with, let's see, hold on, give me a minute because I have to write this in. 16. English 144, 145, A500, and A501. So English 145, A500, and A501. Technical writing, you will be doing chapter 4. Okay, homework, practice 1 and 2, and exercise 1, 2, and 3. Be mindful, the practices are different from the exercises. They're completely different. So exercise 1, 2, and 3, and practice 1 and 2. Make sure that you copy and paste it. Make sure that you highlight it. Make sure that, that you put it in a Word document, okay? I do take pages. If you can't do it in a Word document, no pictures. All right, so I will, and that is due Tuesday, all right, about 8 o'clock, I believe, okay? So moving right along to business communication, A500 and A501, okay? You will be doing chapter 4. Make sure that you read it. Objective 4.1 through 4.5. Remember that the objectives state what the objective is, and the questions below it reference that objective. It doesn't mean that you have to look for the objective. It's sort of telling you what the objective is, and it references, within those questions, it references that objective. So you're going to do questions 1 through 19 under learning objective checkup at the end of the chapter. So learning objective checkup at the end of the chapter 4, objective 4.1 through 4.5. And if you'll notice, 4 means that it's chapter 4. If it's a 3 point whatever, then it's chapter 3. If it's 2 point whatever, then it's chapter 2, and so forth. The first number of the objectives is always the chapter, okay? And that's the way, books are, organized. So make sure that you learn your books. It'll be easier. Okay, so you have questions 1 through 19. Make sure that you copy and paste it onto a Word document. I need every single option of your multiple choice. I need your question. I need your objective. Okay, I need it enumerated. So don't forget the numbers. Don't forget the letters. And make sure that you copy and paste it complete. If it's incomplete, I will not accept it. Make sure that it's highlighted. And then moving right along to English 133, A500 and A501, and this is reading comprehension. Okay, you will be doing test 1. Make sure that you copy and paste it onto a Word document, and of course you highlight your answer, okay, and then of course you upload it. So this is test 1 for English 133 A500 and English 133 A501. You have test 1, all right? Alrighty, so that concludes it. Thank you so much. Namaste. Love and light.